Hey, what is up guys, and welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about the DroneMesh VUSB. Now this is an all-in-one USB solution in order for you to play any simulator with any controller and any receiver wirelessly. Now what this does is it does quite a lot of things. One of its main features is it'll allow you to play iBus, SBus, and as well as Spectrum and PPM on your PC wirelessly through any receiver. Now it's very important to take note of something. It must output either iBus, PPM, or SBus, or Spectrum, the DSM protocol, and that'll work flawlessly. And I'm going to show you how to do that right now. And not only that, this does a couple things also. Now it also does have an inbuilt inverter for the SBus. So previously, for example, if you're going to use Arduino or something, you're going to have to write the script and it'll have to do the inversion and set the correct baud rate. However, this is just plug and play. Solder your receiver, make sure you have the software. That's very simple to set up and you're good to go. And I'll show you how to do that in a bit here. So, and again, this thing will work with just about anything. For example, any FlySky receiver, which is iBus compatible or PPM compatible, so it'll work right out of the box. It'll also provide 5 volts. You can even use these older FlySky ones. You can use any FrSky receiver, this XM Plus, XSR, X4R, even the R9M. You can even use the R9M and even the bigger R9 receiver. So you can use any receiver that outputs SBus, iBus, or PPM, as well as Spectrum. However, I've never tested Spectrum, but theoretically it should work as well. Now, what I'm going to show you today is how to set everything up here. All right, so this is the USB. This is how you'll receive it inside an anti-static bag if you purchase it from Banggood. And if you do, that greatly supports the channel. This is a really nice way to support the channel, and you get something that's super awesome in return. So this also acts as a USB to UART, so you can flash your flight controllers. You can even flash your GPSs. This is kind of like a little bit more advanced stuff. So if anyone knows what a USB to UART, this you could totally use this for that. And it's faster than the FTDI, and it's much quicker. And this is the reason why I decided to build it around this chip and built the inverter for the SBus. So you're not going to need to program this at all. This works right out of the box. However, you will need the VJoy software, which I'll show you how to install in order to play any simulator or any game with any of your transmitters wirelessly, which is something really cool. Now let's take a look at the pads here before continuing on. All right, so if you take a look at here, we have RX and TX. This is for standard UART if you're going to be connecting a GPS and anything like that. Right now you can totally ignore that, but if you look down here, we have iBus, and then we have ground, and then we have 5 volt. So this is how you'd connect your iBus receiver on the top 3 here. And if you take a closer look here, this is not bridged. So what you do is, if you wanted to connect SBus, you would connect your signal to the SBus pad right here, and you will have to bridge these to enable SBus, because what that does is it'll pipe through the inverter in order for the PC and the software to understand it. So I made a built-in inverter into the circuit, which goes through the SBus right here. But again, you have to bridge this right there. And if you're using iBus, make sure these are not bridged. I'll show you another example. Here's here's an iBus right here. This is iBus. As you can tell, this is not bridged. It's just flat. I mean, there's no solder on it. And here's an SBus version with that pad bridged. So this is rocking, I think, the X4R here. As you can tell, I've gone ahead and bridged those 2 pads, and I've soldered the signal right here. The power will go right there, as you can see. And if we go back to the iBus, which is right now the top one, you can see that the signal goes on the upper pad right there. So as you can tell, it's very simple to set up. It doesn't really need much, just needs a 3D printed case that I should possibly start designing after this video. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and show you the software side of how to set this up to work with any simulator. It's very simple. All you got to do is just prepare the VJoy software, which is kind of like a universal open source software that allows you to make plugins for all types of controllers. It's very simple to install. And also we're going to need the plugin by Hakcrc, which is a really awesome guy. He's the one that developed the software for this. And we're going to use his software in order to enable this to communicate with the simulators. So let's jump to the PC and we take it from there. All right, guys. So the first thing we want to do is you can go ahead and go to my forum. I have more information about this and where to purchase it, and just some connection pictures so you can kind of get an idea of how to connect it if you ever get lost. Now, before continuing on, you need to download 2 softwares. We need the VJoy software, and we need the plugin that's created by Hakcrc. And I'll have those links down below, and they're also on the forum here. So first, you want to start with the VJoy software. So if you were to click this link or the link down below, you will see this page here, and you want to go ahead and download this file right here. You click on that download. Don't scroll down because these are the older versions, because we need VJoy 2.0, which is with this download button. Once that downloads, and you just have to wait here. Once it downloads, then you just install it before you do anything else. Install, next, all these types of things. And, you know, hopefully you know how to install software. After you install it, it is very important to reboot your PC. So reboot your PC after installing this step, or else you have a lot of issues. You're gonna have to uninstall and reinstall. So just reboot your PC after you install this. The next step is we want to go to Hakcrc's page here. Now he has the source code fully available, and as well as the executable files already built. So if you wanted to download the built ones. Now in the link here, it takes you right to where the files are. So you can download the source code, build it yourself, or you can download the executable, which is this one right here. The VJoy serial feeder, Windows version 1.4.zip. This is the release file here. So if we were to click this, it'll start downloading, and you should get a file like this here. What you do is you extract the file. So let's just delete that. So hopefully you guys know how to extract a file. There we go, just extract the file. Okay, so now after this is downloaded, before you open this file, what we want to do is we want to connect our USB dongle that's already soldered to a receiver like this here. So I'm going to go ahead and connect it. And there we go. And we should see hopefully your receiver is just lighting up. Power on your transmitter. You can do that step even before. Make sure it's bound and everything. Okay. So theoretically, as you can tell, I'm getting the green light, which means I'm connected here. Now I could proceed with opening the VJoy serial feeder plugin, which is this file here. So we want to double click that, and we should get something like this. Now we're currently using SBus. So what we want to do here is you want to find SBus first, as you can tell. So we're going to be using SBus here. You can leave everything else default. Hopefully here you should see VJoy something like this. That means you've installed the VJoy software correctly. And now I'm on COM port 1. Now I know this is not the correct COM port. I'm on COM port 49. And the way to know this is if it does this, then you're on the wrong COM port. So I'm going to go to COM port 49, make sure I'm on SBus because this is an SBus receiver. And I'm going to do a connect. Beautiful. Now you don't see anything. But if you take a closer look on the bottom, we get connected, 16 channels available, and how many updates per second, 9 milliseconds between updates. This is the reason why I chose this IC on this dongle, is because from my testing, it was the fastest, and that's why I decided to create this USB here. Now, what you want to do first, we're just going to add the axes. What you have to do is click add axes, and we have axes 1 right here for channel 1. Add another axes, we could put channel 2, axes 3, axes, and then 4. And now what you can do is save. We're going to call this Hakcrc. So I'm going to call it Hakcrc, and I'm just going to save it here. So later on I'll have the file in there, so it'll be just a lot quicker for me. Now let's go ahead and take a look. I'm going to start moving the joysticks here, and we're going to see it move as we go. As you can tell, that's fine. It's because we're really close to each other. Okay, we'll just move that. All right. So here's throttle, and you can do this as you please, but usually in the simulators, once you open it, it'll tell you, oh, move yaw, and then just move your yaw, and then it'll automatically reroute it. For example, in liftoff, that's what I use, and it's just a very simple process. It'll tell you yaw right, then you just yaw right. It'll figure these channels out here. But the most important thing also when this is open is that you don't close it. So you keep this on, and that's it. You know, when you're going to play, this has to stay in the background. And that'll continue reading all the inputs and providing it into the game or the simulator. Now, for example, we wanted to do the iBus. So let's just do another example for iBus. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go disconnect. I'm going to turn off my transmitter. All right, so I've gone ahead and turned off my transmitter. I'm going to bring in the FlySky. There we go, which is iBus. And I'm just going to put that back there. We're going to turn this guy on. By the way, Nirvana, I wrote you because I can't update. So, I mean, that would be super awesome if you guys get back to me on that. Okay, throttle warning. Okay, everything looking good. Now we're going to get the VUSB with the iBus receiver. And I'm going to go ahead and connect it again. There we go. So that's connected. As you can tell right here, we might get some weird stuff going on, but hopefully not. So that's connected, and we come back to the PC here. The COM port obviously is going to come back because it's on COM port 1. So what we want to do is let's just do a new profile here, and what we have to do is we go to iBus. We were on S-Bus before, and then COM49, and then connect. And again, it's working. As you can tell, connected, 14 channels available, 130 updates per second, 8 milliseconds between updates. Really fast, actually. Again, add axes, add axes. This is going to be channel 2, add axes, channel 3, add axes, channel 4, and I'm going to call this Fly Sky. And we can just save that. There we go. And let's go ahead and start moving, see what happens. So channel 4 was yaw for me. Doesn't matter because you can always reroute these. Channel 3 is the throttle, and pitch is channel 2, and roll is channel 1. As you can tell, it's really, really fast. It's unbelievably quick. So you can say bye-bye to latency. This is just absolutely phenomenal here. And this is all thanks to Hakcrc software that we're able to do such thing in such a fast environment. And also the IC that I chose right here for this whole project. So it's just very simple here. You know what? I'm actually going to also open liftoff so we can see how we could configure it. It's the same thing for both FrSky and FlySky. So we're going to do this one first. So let me go ahead and open up liftoff. All right, guys. So right now I'm going to go ahead and open liftoff. Before opening liftoff, you want to make sure this is open and you keep it open and it's functioning here. Now you might get scared if your mouse is somewhere else. It won't show you like it's doing anything, but it's actually working. See, we just go back here. So it is working, so just don't be afraid like it's freezing or anything. It's just that's how he created the plugin here. So now let's go ahead and open liftoff. Okay, so first thing, obviously, you want to go to options, and we're going to go to controls, and we are going to go to controller. As you can tell, it already picked up the VJoy stick right here. So I'm just going to try to move it. As you can tell, everything is incorrect here. So it's just picking up one thing, which is really nice. Now let's go ahead and just do calibration. So we're going to calibrate. Start calibration. So all right, awesome. Okay, so here I've actually made a mistake. So what we need to do is we need to go back to the VJoy software. And the way to do this is we go back here. All right, so we're back here, and what we want to do is you want to change the X. As you can tell, we're just doing X-axis for all of them. So we're going to do Y, Z, and then we can just do another RX, I think we can do as well. All right, so we're going to start calibration again. Now we have to center our sticks. So this one's not centered, but yeah, there you go. I can't see it because it's really far. But now, as you can tell, we have all 4 channels. Fuck it. I'm just going to leave that there for now. Alright, we just wait for that to finish. Okay, now we're going to do our throttle. There we go. Make sure you do it the same way it's showing, or else it'll do it inverted. So if it showed us to put the throttle up and we put the throttle down, then it'll invert the throttle for you. So that's just how the simulator is working here. So there we go. Awesome. Now we got our pitch. And next we want our roll. Beautiful. And I think next is going to be yaw here. Okay. So it's going to tell us to yaw. There we go. We got our yaw. Beautiful. Really nice. Okay, we should just center all of them back. There we go. And that's it. It's the same process for anything used, whether it's Spectrum, just save it, calibration is done, and we can just go back and we can just start enjoying the game here. So let's go back to the bench and we'll take it from there. Alright guys, so as you saw, it's very simple and straightforward. You just have to download those 2 files and just create a profile for this and you're good to go. But make sure obviously you're bound also. And it's the same process with anything. Just make sure you choose the correct protocol that your receiver is outputting. For example, if it's iBus, if it's FlySky, it's going to be iBus more than likely. If it's PPM, then set it to PPM in the VJoy plugin. If it's S-Bus, FrSky, or anything else, you can just set up S-Bus. Now, and again, just make sure you bridge the S-Bus pads if you're using S-Bus, and if not, please remove them. So if you're using iBus, don't bridge these two. And yeah, that's really it. That's all you need to know. And now you'll be able to play any game wirelessly through your receiver. And again, this will work on anything that supports iBus, S-Bus, Spectrum, and as well DSM, and as well as PPM. So R9, Crossfire even, because you'll have to make it output S-Bus, you know, just every single receiver you could imagine that has iBus or SBus protocol, you're going to be able to use wirelessly on your PC with no delay, no latency, and it's better than using your, what is it called, your USB here. Now, I know you could use USB for this and possibly even for this now, but it's still really nice. Even for the cheaper models of the transmitters, you can do this with any transmitter. All it looks at is just the receiver and what it outputs. And it could be any transmitter that you ever want to use that you have laying around. You can use even the old FlySky ones. You could still use those without some sort of a trainer port or anything. You could just directly use them. So that's going to sum it up for this video, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I really hope someone will find this useful. And if you guys can pick it up and support the channel, that would be absolutely phenomenal. And I also do have a DroneMesh drone finding kit, which also outputs video feed. I'll have that link down below also. So any support goes a really long way. And it's a really nice piece of hardware here. It does more than one thing other than allow you to play wirelessly. So if you know what to do with a USB to UART, this will even just be, it's basically like the Swiss Army knife of our hobby in a way. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think down in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Peace out.